Everybody doing? How is everybody doing, man? This is a mighty, mighty Tuesday. It's your boy West Coast. We live in the building, man. Here for what we're going to start calling our late night can't sleep Cowboys. You know what I'm saying? Because I already know wherever you is right now, it's probably late at night. You probably scratching your butt or trying to figure out what you're going to eat for dinner. If it's wherever, if it's late as hell wherever you at, just go ahead and eat that sandwich you was thinking about. But y'all, man, it is your boy West Coast, man, and we live in the building. A new show called Can't Sleep Cowboys. And hey, man, I got a special guest with me, man. I got my blood relative with me, man. I got my cousin on. I said, man, what you gonna go by on the Cowboy Nation? He said, man, all I got is my name my mama gave me, so I'm shoot. Hey, let them know who you is, man. Let them know where you watching these Cowboys from, man.
Hey man, it's your boy Gary, watching the Cowboys from Texarkana, Texas. It's tuned in West Coast. We're gonna get it done, man.
Hey, man, let's go, man. So, yo, you guys already know whenever West Coast goes live, there's two things you guys must do. First thing you guys must do is you must hit that share button. You know what I'm saying? So I need every single person right now that is watching to go in right now and hit that share button for your boy. I need everybody right now to hit that share button. I need everybody right now to go in and hit that share button for you. Hit that share button. Send it out to the world. Sharing is absolutely free. It only shows West Coast that you care about the content and that you want the content to continue to grow. You feel me? What's up with you, Lee Harrison? I see you, my boy. Appreciate you for sliding in. All right, next thing you guys need to do. Hey, you guys already know whenever West Coast goes live, what is the next thing you guys must do? You must hit that star button. What is the stars? The stars are simply just a monetary gift that you can give to the content creator. Who's the content creator? Your boy, West Coast, man. You feel me? So make sure you guys hit that star button. I'm going to go through here and I'm going to say what's up to everybody that I see. As I say your name, make sure you say what's up to your boy West Coast, and I promise you I will say it back. Then after that, we're going to get on here and start talking about some content. You feel me? So, yo, what's up with you, Anthony Tardy? I see you, my boy. Lee Harrison, what's up with you, my boy? Hit that star button, Lee. Who else we got up in here? We also got on my boy Lucky Johnson over there on YouTube. Appreciate you, my boy, for tapping in and watching, man. And I just appreciate everybody that's watching on TikTok and everybody that's watching on Instagram, and also everybody that is watching on Twitter. My Twiggers. What's up, my Twiggers? Yeah, you know what I'm saying? What's up, my Twiggers? Appreciate y'all for watching. I need everybody right now. What up, Tyrone Hall? What's up with you, Miss Gordon? I'm actually Miss Patricia. What's up with you? I see you. I need everybody right now to hit that share button just like my cousin Gary just did right now. So appreciate you. And, yo, man, let's go ahead and get right into the content, man. You already know what it is, man. You know what we came to talk about. So, Gary, man, I'm going to tell you today, man. Today, man, I kind of woke up kind of late today. You know what I'm saying? I woke up kind of late today. When I woke up, I had some inboxes, right? I had an inbox from you too. You know what I'm saying? I had an inbox from you too.
Oh yeah, you know we stay on top there.
And it says, the first thing it said was something about Schultz coming back to practice. I said, man, all right, I kind of figured that. We'll talk about that. But then the next thing that I was looking at was this interview and this conversation from Mike McCarthy, right? Now, I want to listen to it real quick. The interview's only probably about like 30, 40 seconds. We're going to listen to it. We're going to listen to it once. And then I already did a video on this. So after we listen to it, Gary, I want you to go ahead and start us off because I already kind of did a video on this and you guys supported the hell out of it. So I want to know what you think about this after. I want you to listen to this. I want you to suck it all the way in. You know how my mama make the food and then she put it on your table. You just don't jump right in. You gotta let it all slop out. You gotta let it slop all up. You know what I'm saying? I want you to let it slop all up in your soul, and then I want you to tell me what you think. What the hell you think he talking about on here, man? This is West Coast Cowboy. This is my cousin Gary. Hey, he ain't even got a cowboy name yet. That's how fresh he is. But the show got a name. This is Can't Sleep Cowboy, man. And here we go. Let's go.
In terms of extending plays or using his running ability?
You talking about in season or this time last year?
Gary, can you hear it?
I think we tried to be smart. We didn't know. I think it's obvious we didn't call as many quarterback runs than probably prior. So there wasn't as many in the game plan. So I think we tried to be smart when we used them. So I think that's only natural. And I think if you look at the history of this league, when a player has a major joint injury, it usually takes them a full year to where I think they get, there's a first for everything that the player has to go through. So, that was definitely part of our thinking.
Be fair to say that there'll be more movement type plays designed for him this season?
That's a schematic question, Michael. We don't answer those here. So, I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
Oh, you want to hear that one more time? Or you ready to go?
Oh man, I'm ready to go. I've been putting together numbers about this for all day.
All right, talk to me, man.
All right, so
go ahead, break the clip down, and then go ahead and tell me what's your thoughts on it.
Man, pretty much is all he really saying is Dak is gonna get back to being Dak, and if that's the case, we got a real good chance of actually doing something this year. Because I know folks know that Dak Prescott is not Cam Newton, he's not Lamar Jackson or Michael Vick and none of the other guys. But when Dak Prescott runs the ball, we win games.
Okay.
So this even for a sample size. There have been 26 times where Dak Prescott has ran the ball 5 times or more in his career. We are 20-6 in those games with a 76% win percentage.
Hey, wait, time out. Wait, Gary, time out, Gary. I knew you was gonna get on here and do this, bro. I knew you was gonna get on here and start blowing my mind with these damn stats, but you're talking too damn fast. It's folks in the back that ain't hearing what you're saying now. Now, I used to wear glasses, and my glasses about to fog up. Slow that down, G. Slow that down, bruh. I know you're new to this whole Facebook stuff. You can't be saying stuff like that. Slow that down and rewind that one more time and run that train by us. Run that train by me one more time. And let me catch it this time. Go ahead. And when you drop these stats, man, you better warn somebody. I almost choked right now, goddammit. Almost had me to swallow my goddamn joint, man. I ain't got that much weed left. Come on, man. Slow this thing down. Now say that one more time, man, for the people in the back.
For everybody in the back, there have been 26 occasions where Dak Prescott has ran the ball 5 times or more in an NFL game.
26 games.
And we're 20-6 in those games.
Jesus.
That's a 76% win percentage.
Jesus. So you know what that lets me know? That lets me know right off the muscle that Dak Prescott's running ability is not something that you can kind of do. This is something that he has to do. This is something that makes him a totally different quarterback.
And I got it. I got it broke down year by year.
Go ahead, talk to me. 2016,
he had 5 games with 5 rush attempts. We were undefeated in those games. We went 5-0. 2017, he had 4 games with 5 rushing attempts or more. We were 3-1. 2018, he had 8 games with 5 rushing attempts or more. We were 5-3. 2019, there were 4 games where he had 5 rushing attempts or more. We were undefeated, 4-0. 2020, a little bit more shaky. There was only 2, but he only played in 5 games. We split those 1-1.
Wow.
Last year, he barely ran the ball, but we were still 2-1 in the 3 games that he actually ran the ball 5 times or more.
What is it about Dak Prescott and his running, do you think, that just takes this offense to another level? What do you think it is?
Well, it gives the defense another thing to actually account for. Because he breaks out and runs one time, you're going to have to honor it. He's not, like I said, he's not going to take it all the way on a scramble, but he's going to pick up a first down. He's going to hurt the defense in a way they have to make an adjustment. And that opens up more things in the passing game. And on top of that, he scores. People don't understand this. Dak Prescott is already in the top 20. Matter of fact, he is 22nd all time in rushing touchdowns for a quarterback.
Jesus. And the kid's only been in the league how long?
This is going to be his 7th year, right?
Yeah.
He really didn't play 1 year. So, matter of fact, I have this written down. If he needs 8 more rushing touchdowns to crack the top 10.
Wow, he could do that this year.
He could do that this year. Because before the injuries and everything, he was averaging about 6 rushing touchdowns a year. 2016, 2017, 2018, he had 6 rushing touchdowns each of those years.
And I'm going to tell you something. I was on a space with my boy BJ. Shout out to BJ because I got mad love for my boy BJ. But the haters that was on that space, they was hating hard. But I love haters. They make me sharper. You know what I'm saying? I ain't never learned something from one love, but somebody that hating, boy, I tell you, boy. I remember I said something on a space a couple of days ago, and I was like, yo, freaking Dak Prescott was scoring more touchdowns than Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson was more entertaining, but Dak was more effective running the football because he had more touchdowns than any quarterback. Now, remember 2020, he got what? He got hurt, only played 5 games. Lamar Jackson caught him. But, I mean, you got to think, this is a dude that had almost 17 rushing touchdowns. You know what I'm saying? And it's like part of the reason why Dak never had 30-plus passing touchdowns is because he would throw like 25 touchdowns and have like 7 or 8 rushing touchdowns.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going to be honest with you, there's no way Dak should have broke the Dallas Cowboys passing touchdown record. He shouldn't have. You know what I'm saying? Because he should have been running the ball. Go ahead, G.
But yeah, even with that, he's still the franchise leader in rushing touchdowns right now as a quarterback. He already passed Roger Staubach. He already has more, and this is crazy. He already has more career rushing touchdowns than Russell Wilson.
Wow.
People don't know that. Russell Wilson, he make his plays in the run game, but he's picking up first down. Dak Prescott is a weapon in the red zone.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this. I said this too. I said, man, on my video, I was like, yo, I almost, with hearing my head coach admit it to that, I almost have to give Kellen Moore a small pass for this year. Because I don't think that Kellen Moore is a offensive coordinator that is good enough to scheme a quarterback that can only throw the ball. Like, I don't believe that he's good enough to do that. You know what I'm saying? So I almost have to, like, give him, like, a pass. Like, I almost have to look at Kellen Moore differently for this year. Because,
but think about it.
Go ahead.
Look, with Dak Prescott not being able to run the ball, that's half of his game.
Half of his game, bruh.
That's what got him drafted.
That's what got him drafted.
You know, he improved, night and day as a passer from what he was in college up to this point. But the plays that he made at LSU, the big run to seal the game when they went down to Death Valley, breaking the tackles, against Auburn, goal line, plays like that is what got that man into the NFL.
And you know what, Gary? You know what's crazy? The Cowboys have such a history, a bad history of drafting guys and not using them to their ability. Like, they have such a hard, like we're a guy we're going to talk about next. A guy we're going to talk about next after this, Tony Pollard, a good example. We're going to talk about him right after this. But listen, Tony Pollard is a great example of the exact same thing that happened to Dak Prescott. Like, Dak Prescott came into the NFL. They used him for his talent and for his skill set for a little bit. But then guess what, man? They went back to doing exactly what they always do. You know what I'm saying? And that is what the Cowboys want to do. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, man. I actually understand this mindset going into the regular season. I understand this mindset going into the regular season. I understand it going into preseason. The only thing I do not understand this mindset is, and that is taking this mindset into the playoffs. I mean, when you get to the playoffs, man, I'm sorry, bro. It has to be no holds bar. It has to be like, it is what it is. You got to do what you got to do to win a game. So it's like, a part of me says I understand, why the Cowboys didn't run him. Why? Because $77 million. Dak Prescott was making $77 million last year. And I told you guys the number one thing for the Dallas Cowboys organization, I felt, was to ensure that Dak Prescott played all 17 games, all 17 eligible games. You know what I'm saying? And the Cowboys, I think at some point that was actually more important than them feeling they had to jeopardize him. My only problem is, bro, by week 17, going into week 18, bro, he's fine. You know what I'm saying? Right. In a playoff game, bro, and I'm sorry, bro, I got to challenge the mentality of these Cowboys, man, because in a playoff game, I'm sorry, bro, it has to be every man for himself, bro. It has to be every play for itself.
Man, look. And to be honest, Dak Prescott, part of the reason he got paid was because he can run the ball. And look, if he can't run the ball, he's not the same player. He's just not. And that's not a knock against Dak as a player or a passer. He's fine enough passer. but not every quarterback can do what he does as a runner of the football.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this, man. I hate that when you talk about Dak and you call him an athlete, we as content creators feel that we have to like clean up ourselves and say stuff like, it's not a knock on him. Bro. It's okay to say that the boy is better at being a quarterback when he runs the ball. People say that about Michael Vick, and nobody had a problem with that. People say that about Russell Wilson. Nobody has a problem with that. People say that about Deshaun Watson. Nobody has a problem with that. GA, I need to know. Why is it when people say that about Dak Prescott, everybody has a problem with that? Like, bro, listen. Bro, if Russell Wilson didn't run a whole season, people would be trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
Exactly. But see, this is the thing. They have a stigma about Dak Prescott's ability to throw the ball already. In their mind, no matter how accurate Dak Prescott is, one of the most accurate quarterbacks in the league, in their mind, no matter how good he is at throwing the ball, if he takes off running, it's going to validate their point that he's not a pocket passer. And it has nothing really to do with Dak Prescott. They already have thrown this man into a box from when he got there and when he took over for Romo. And no matter what he does in the confines of passer, hell, they should talk the man can't pass the ball. He just threw for 37 touchdowns. So it really doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, think about this. Regardless of what his completion is, regardless of what his any stat is, how do you say a guy who throws 37 touchdowns is not accurate?
You can't. Well, you can because people do it, but you can't rationally say it. You can't rationally say it.
Yeah, you can't. So, man, I want to know, man, with Dak Prescott now being able to run, what are your expectations, man?
Man, I expect what I would hope for them to do is, I don't want him to run the ball, 15 times a game like Lamar Jackson does, but I want him to run the ball at least six times in a game, every game. There's no reason for it not to be, because there's going to be times where the people are not open. He needs to take off. There's going to be times we're in the red zone. He needs to at least keep the ball one or two times in that area. For a short, third and short, fourth and short, I need to see him keeping the ball in some instances, because that's really where he excels. He's not a fast guy, but he's a very big dude. Like, people don't really understand how big of a guy Dak Prescott is and how hard he is to tackle. So short yardage, goal line, broken plays, I need Dak to run.
Yeah, and I'm going to tell you, man, I felt like this year our offense in the red zone, we only had two things that we could do. We could either run the ball with the Zeke or Tony Pollard, or we could pass the ball to one of our receivers. With Dak being able to run, guess what you have, GA? You have a third thing that you can now do. Why? Right. Because you can run. Somebody asked me today, West Coast, what are your thoughts on my RPOs? I'm going to be honest with you. I don't mind RPOs in the red zone.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to tell you this right here. My running back is so good. Anything outside of that, I want Zeke running the ball. I'm going to keep it real like this. There's almost every situation that you could ask me, I want Zeke running the ball. Like, and let's think about this. We are having a show right now about my quarterback running the ball more, but I'm telling you, I would still want Zeke running the ball more. But you know what I want? I want to at least have the option. Because when you have the option, you know what you do? You throw defenses off. And you know what that's going to do? That's going to make Zeke's runs easier around the end zone.
Exactly.
Well, you can't RPO in the red zone if your quarterback ain't ran the ball all game, bro. Like, you can do it on Madden, and it'll work on Madden. But in real life, your quarterback's going to get smacked. You know what I'm saying? He's going to get smacked. The only way that RPO play that we love running with Dak, remember that play where Dak ran, he jumped over jumped over the end zone at the house, and he was playing the Giants?
Mm-hmm. Bro,
that play was on an RPO. The only way that RPO works is if he's already moving. And I'm gonna be honest with you, if your offensive line is not good, man, how can you tell your quarterback Dak Prescott not to run the ball in a season where it is clear that your offensive line is not good?
Facts. Offensive line with a 23rd ranked pass blocking unit all of football, but they expected Dak Prescott
And you
to stand
expected
behind
Dak
it
Prescott to stand behind there and get killed.
and then it wasn't just like he was standing behind there. They would drop this man back 40 plus times a game
With that same offensive line.
same line.
So, I mean, that's why I said, like, the Cowboys, man, it's amazing. Like, the Cowboys will literally build a boat and we'll see that there is a hole in the boat and be like, maybe the water just won't come in. You know what I'm saying? Maybe the water just won't come in. But yeah, man, like, I'm gonna tell you this right here, man. I think like, just hearing this, man, I'm not gonna give Kellen Moore a pass for everything, but there's definitely some stuff that I'm gonna give him, like, not necessarily a pass, but I'm gonna give him an eye open where I'm like, you know what, I might have to give him an extra little year to see if that was really the issue or what's really going on. Because at the end of the day, if Kellen Moore is in the red zone and he is not able to call run plays to his quarterback, I know for a fact that Kellen Moore he's limited. Like, I know for a fact he's limited. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't think there's a lot of offensive coordinators who can do that. Because I'm going to tell you this, offensive coordinators who can't do that with running quarterbacks, you know what they do? They don't have running quarterbacks. Like, Baltimore doesn't have that problem. Seattle doesn't have that problem. Like, you know what I mean? These teams don't have that problem. Why? Because their offensive coordinator understands that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's fair. I don't think it's fair for the Cowboys to put Dak in that position, especially last year. But I do say this, man: the Cowboys they got to fix it this year, man. And I'm happy to hear that the Cowboys are already in process to get this thing fixed, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All right, so talking about another guy that we believe was in the wrong position. You know what I'm saying? We're going to talk about Mr. Tony Pollard, man. We're going to talk about TP if you're with me for a little bit. Tony Pollard, drop that 20 in the comment box right now, man. Drop that 20 in the comment box. Also, before we go on to Tony Pollard, hey, I need to know, can I get one question from each platform? One question. We're going to go ahead and start talking about Tony Pollard, but can I get one question from each platform, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube that's watching right now? Can I get one question about Dak Prescott running, and then we're going to go ahead and answer that in the middle of this, and we'll get you guys popping. But, man, some other news that's been coming out of training camp, OTAs to be exact, that's the name, is Tony Pollard has been getting more reps at the slot position. Now, I'm going to be honest with you guys. When I heard about this, I was kind of, it's kind of bittersweet because, man, this is something I've been calling for easily 3 years. Before Deebo Samuels was killing the league doing crazy stuff, there was this guy named Randall Cobb who the Cowboys brought over. He wore number 18. And I used to say, stuff like I thought Tony Pollard could be the new Randall Cobb. Like, when we didn't re-sign Randall Cobb, I thought that was the whole reasoning behind it. But the Cowboys, for whatever reason, decided to keep him in his primary backup running back position. You know what I'm saying?
Made no sense.
Now, I'm going to tell you, the reason why I'm going to tell you this, GA, I'm going to tell you this. The reason why I haven't gotten super excited about Tony Pollard possibly being in the slot, I'm going to tell you why.
But they said it last year, didn't
You damn right they said it last year. They did the same thing to us last year, bro. They did this exact same thing last year. You know what I'm saying? Last year at OTAs, they had Tony Pollard in the slot playing around. I got all excited. Came in the regular season, the boy don't get one play at the slot. I'm thinking this year, hopefully things are better. Why? I mean, now, I'm going to be honest with you. We got a couple guys that are kind of dinged up right now. Jalen Tolbert was in a walking boot. Michael Gallup is still currently out. So, I mean, obviously that's two receivers. And then you also have Amari Cooper, who's no longer with the Dallas Cowboys. So, I mean, from a schematic reason, for practice, it kind of makes sense. But I would still think they could have put a TJ Vassar or somebody else there. But on the real, man, what are your thoughts about you guys? If you've been watching my content, you know how I feel about Tony Pollard playing the slot. GA, what's your thoughts on Tony Pollard playing in the slot in 2022?
It's where he should have been day one, coming out of college. Because, listen, Tony Pollard set the NCAA record for most return touchdowns in NCAA history. He had 7. When you have a return guy, historically, all around the league, they do not put them at running back. Because when you're a returner, you usually have good hands and you know how to operate in space. So most returners, a la Tyreek Hill, get put eventually into the wide receiver position because that is what elevate their talents. So it never made sense for me for Tony Pollard to be a backup running back when he has the speed, he has the field vision to make a immediate impact, and he's probably the fastest guy we have. In terms of an offensive weapon, and he hardly sees the field.
I mean, think about this, man. Like, when you're just talking about just pure weapons, like guys in a phone booth, guys that can just do what they need to do. Tony Pollard is the guy. And I'll be honest with you, guys like that, you don't want to put behind a line of scrimmage, man.
And this is what I don't understand. Even in Memphis, Tony Pollard was not a running back.
Talk to me about Memphis.
He averaged 3 rushing attempts a game. That is it. It actually was under 3%, 3 rushing attempts, 2.65. You can't realistically do a percent of an attempt in a game. So about 3 rushing attempts a game. That's it. This man was catching passes and doing kick return and punt returns. This man was never a bona fide running back. He made a couple splash plays here and there. But you look at everything encompassing his numbers, the 7 return touchdowns, 12 receiving touchdowns, only 6 career rushing touchdowns in 3 years. Mm. This man is not a running back, never was, and I don't understand why he even got shoe pegged into that role in Dallas.
Because he's in Dallas. I mean, somebody, Orlando, this is my boy Orlando says, if TP moved to slot, can Zeke handle most of the running? I'm going to be honest with you, man. I'm not going to validate that question. I just wanted to read it. But, I mean, it's crazy that people's, man, just the disrespect y'all put on Zeke's name, man. Just, man, I got to stay away from questions. Hey, I'm not mad at you, Orlando, but, man, god dang, bro. Come on, man. You can't be asking questions like that, bro. Can Zeke handle the load, bro? Come on, man. Zeke's getting 12 carries a game right now. TP's getting 4. That's 16 total carries. Can Zeke get 16 carries a game? Man, I would wish one day. You know what I'm saying? I would wish. I would love for TP to come out of the slot position. I'm going to tell you why. Because then, guess what happens? Then you have Tony Pollard and Zeke on the field at the exact same time. And guess what? If you want Tony Pollard to be a running back, all you have to do is motion him into the backfield. Like, we drafted a fullback and don't even use him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's always going to be a time where Tony Pollard's going to be in the slot, and you can easily motion him into the backfield. And he can run the ball if you want to. So it's like, man, my thing is this also. How often does a backup running back play? A backup running back is going to play 4 to 5 carries a game. I don't even think Tony Pollard wants to be a backup running back.
No. For the sake of his pocketbook, he better not want to be a backup running back.
Like, bro, like Tony Pollard doesn't even want to be a backup running back. Like, even if they don't throw the ball to him in the slot, just playing the slot, you'll be on the field more.
Think about when it's time for him to renew his contract. Backup running back money, slot receiver money. Is it even close?
No. And I'm going to tell you this. A backup running back, it has no value for the Dallas Cowboys because you could easily, you don't really run the ball enough to sign a backup running back. So if I'm Tony Pollard, you got to get out of the backup running back because we're not re-signing a backup running back. It makes no sense. Like, you have Ezekiel Elliott, and you barely use him. Why would you then give more money to if you're Tony Pollard, man, you got to look at the Dallas Cowboys, and you say the only people that's getting paid in Dallas is what? Wide receivers.
Mm-hmm.
CeeDee Lamb's going to get paid. Amari Cooper did get paid. Dez Bryant did get paid. Cole Beasley did get paid. You know what I'm saying? Michael Gallup was hurt and got paid. If I'm CeeDee Lamb, bruh, and I'm not CeeDee Lamb, if I'm Tony Pollard, I'm trying to get in that offense and that wide receiver. And if I'm going to tell you this right here, if you're looking at where you think you could probably have the most impact and where you can get the most stats, it's probably going to be in the catching footballs. Because the Cowboys are never going to do a 12, Zeke get 12 carries, and then Tony Pollard get 12 carries. Like, I'm going to tell you, this would be a totally different conversation if we were saying that. But, like, the Cowboys use Tony Pollard as a true backup running back. Like, he literally runs the ball 30% of what the starting running back does. And if Zeke does 12, he's getting 3. Go ahead. What did you guys say?
Nah, just Tony Pollard moving over to the slot position will add a whole new facet to the game. Because ever since we lost, what was Buddy with the red hair we used to have?
Cole Beasley.
Nah, with the red hair, the black boy,
Lucky Whitehead.
Yeah, ever since we lost a guy like Lucky Whitehead, we haven't had anybody to do those jet motion moves or anything like that. We don't have a guy that can take the defense with him. We don't have a guy that can break one tackle, hit his head on the goalpost, except for Tony Pollard.
Facts.
So that's really why. Because even if he's not catching the ball in that play, he is fast enough and good enough to take a whole different player out of the play just by motion.
Yeah, and I remember we used to run that jet sweep. People said, why we running so much? Because it's effective.
It works every time.
It gets this. Think about this. Even if you don't do it, it moves the safety, man. And I'm gonna tell you, a jet sweep is the cheapest way to find out what defense they're in. Because I'm gonna tell you, if once that man comes from one side of the field, if that corner, if that safety or whoever carries him, then they're in what? They're in man. You know what I'm saying?
They pass him off.
If he passes off, then what? He's in zone. So that's another reason why we used to do that jet sweep. And I'm going to tell you, bro, like if the Cowboys, and this is just coming off the hip, man. Bro, could you imagine Zeke in the backfield and Tony Pollard moving? Like, bro, you got to respect it. You got to respect it. Because if you got Zeke in the backfield, they can legitimately hand the ball off. But if Tony Pollard goes across the formation, then guess what? You got to move. Why? Because he can hand the ball off to him too.
Mm-hmm. And then the play action off of that is just beautiful.
I mean, I would like honestly, stop throwing all these screenplays to CeeDee Lamb and throw them to Tony Pollard, keep it real.
Yeah, because think about it. The screen is designed to get somebody into space. And Tony Pollard is the best player on the Cowboys that, just over the course of his career has proven that he's the most elusive in the open field. He did not get those 7 return touchdowns by accident. That man is really like that.
So the Cowboys' job should be to get Tony Pollard in more situations where he's in like a kickoff return situation. And that's
exactly
in the middle of the field where he is just making moves. Listen, if Tony Pollard's the type of dude, right, where if he makes one guy miss, he's gone.
It's over.
So it's like, do you want that guy to be a defensive tackle? Because guess what's behind the defensive tackle?
Linebackers. And then behind linebackers, you got safeties.
Okay, so if I'm an offensive coordinator, I want to get this guy the ball when he's where? On the linebacker. You want to know why? Because if he beats the linebacker off the line, GA, who's the only person he got to beat?
Safety.
And if he beats the safety, what are we doing? Touchdown, baby.
Over with.
Hold up real quick. Let me get your sound effect.
Elliott for the touchdown. No flags. Cowboys lead.
That's what's happening, man. That's what happened. We got to get back to the screen being effective and just nasty for us, man, because the screen is such a punishing play because you have these offensive linemen charging at your ass. You get one cuss word again. I'll let you know that, too. Ass is not officially a cuss word because it was in the Bible multiple times. Right?
Tenfold.
You know what I'm saying? That's where we gotta get to. Like, bro, I knew my offense was in trouble when the screen was no longer effective, bro.
Man, and you know what?
And CeeDee danced too much, bro. I'm gonna tell you, CeeDee Lamb danced too much for me to be doing the screen as often as he does, bro. I need a dude that bow bow. You know what I'm saying? Because all that dancing, you know what you're doing? You're giving the defense time to figure out the play, bro. You get what I mean? Talk to me, GA. What your high school coach tell you to tell CeeDee Lamb about the way he runs slams, the way he wears screens? Get upfield.
Pretty much. Follow your block and get the hell on down.
And it's like, think about this. Think about a screenplay. Now think about a kick return. Now put the plays on top of each other. It's the same thing, bruh.
Mm-hmm.
A kickoff return and a screenplay is basically the same thing. Offensive lining doing what? Creating a wall. Creating a wedge. They can't do wedges anymore. But creating a wall. Who is the best person on your team at that?
Tony Pollard.
Tony Pollard should get 3 to 4 screens a game.
It's not like we're asking them to put a above average returner, in that position. This guy is the best returner in college football history. Yeah. Do they not understand that? I'm not even being hyperbole. Nobody is better at returning kicks for touchdowns than Tony Pollard. There's a couple guys as good, but nobody else has hit that plateau.
Somebody tied 7.
Yeah, somebody tied 7.
But nobody's got an 8, though.
Nobody's got an 8. Tony Pollard is in rare company.
And that's all NCAA. That's everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
ain't nobody in Bama, nobody from LSU, nobody else.
Didn't even know you had a guy like that on your team. And he's playing backup running back. If I'm gonna tell you this right here. Tony Pollard gonna have the same problem Deebo Samuel gonna have. Bro, you ain't got enough stats in the right position. Mm-hmm. When you bring all Deebo Sanders stats together, you're like, damn, that boy had a really good season. But when you just look at him as a running back and his running back stats, you're like, he's a top 15 running back, top 20 running back maybe. If you just look at him as a receiver, you're like, his receiver stats, he's a top 25 receiver. Because if I'm not mistaken, he only had like 900 yards receiving, and he had like 800 yards rushing. Total was like 1,700, I think, together.
Let's take a look.
1,600. My boy, he more factual than I am. But Tony Pollard, bruh, you're gonna have the same problem that Deebo's having. And the thing about it is, Deebo, like, listen, when you're Jackie Robinson, the only thing about being Jackie Robinson, meaning you the person that's gonna create this new position, and you gonna, guess what? Sometimes you may be the person that don't get paid a whole lot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because at the end of the day,
there's no precedent for it. Thank
you. So if I'm Tony Pollard, I'm gonna be honest with you, bruh. I'm not trying to be a backup running back. Listen to me, GA. I'm not trying to be a backup running back at all. Like, at all, bruh. Because you cannot name one backup running back who has gotten paid anywhere, bruh. And think about this, GA. Bro, how many yards do you really think he's going to get this year doing what they did last year at most?
Let's say he went crazy and still only had 700-some yards. So if he has a down year, maybe 300, 400.
Okay, so between 300 and 400 at peak, we'll say 800 yards rushing. Bro, right. I'm going to tell you this right here. If you go look at Tony Pollard's soul, if he's trying to sell himself as a sole running back to any free agent team, bro, they're not buying. They're not buying.
You never had double-digit rushing touchdowns. You never had 1,000 yards rushing. So why would they pay you starting running back money somewhere? You might get a minimum deal, but that's about it. You're not finna maximize on your profitability being a backup running back. Matter of fact, usually what happens to a backup running back is they get out the league.
Because you want to know why? Because they're so easy replaceable. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're a backup running back who cannot get a starting job in your free agency, bro, it makes sense. Because at that point it is cheaper to bring, that's why I said the Dallas Cowboys. I would be totally against the Dallas Cowboys signing Tony Pollard as a backup running back. I would be against them re-signing anybody as a backup running back. I don't care who it is. Because you have a $14 million running back that you don't use. So if I'm Tony Pollard in his camp, bro, I'm telling you this right here. We want to play slot. Stop talking about Tony Pollard trying to unseat Zeke. It's not going to happen this year, bro.
Nah.
And Tony Pollard's not even trying to do that. If you're Tony Pollard and you're trying to go out the bag, you're telling yourself right now, I see CeeDee Lamb going to be getting double covered. You want to know why, GA? Because that's what number one receivers do. They get
Right.
double covered. Michael Gallup is going to be hurt for the first 6 games, possibly 8 games. That means it's going to be CeeDee Lamb getting double covered and a rookie. Noah Brown and a dude named George Washington. But he did his own boy, so we going to show him some love. If you're CeeDee Lamb, bruh, if you're Tony Pollard, bro, you were telling yourself, bro, I think I could eat at this slot position.
Yeah, because the opportunities will be there.
And Dak is going to throw the ball to him.
In fact, so Dak Prescott is the type of guy, if you're open, you're going to get the ball. And that's why all our tight ends put up good numbers with Dak Prescott. If you open and you can catch, you're going to get that damn ball.
Yes, sir. Speaking of the hey man, hey, before we switch to this next thing, man, I want you guys to talk to me, comment. I want you to comment in the comment box. What are y'all thoughts? What are y'all thoughts on brother CD, on my boy? I keep calling this dude CD Lamb. On Tony Pollard getting moved to slot. Like, what are y'all thoughts on that? And you brought up a tight end, so I want to go ahead and talk about him. Listen, man. I'm gonna tell you this, man. I think I could be an NFL agent.
Why you say that?
Because, bro, like, these dudes just don't be knowing what they doing sometimes, bro. Like, how you gonna say I'm coming to work? Oh, you listen, bro. If you go into work and they say they gonna give you your $12 raise, GA, and they come with 10, and you told them if they don't come with that 12, you ain't coming. Your ass better not be at work on Monday, GA.
Nah, you gotta stand on what you said.
Stand on what you said, man. That boy had the shortest holdout in NFL history. Dalton Schultz is back.
What he hold out for, like a week?
6 days, 23 hours, 43 minutes. That boy saw that $90,000 fine and said, you know what? That's not for me. Hey, man, what are your thoughts on Dalton Schultz, man? What are your thoughts on, just bring us up to speed real quick on your thoughts on Dalton Schultz getting the franchise tag, and then break us something off real smooth about what you think about this young man. Because this is what hold up real quick. Hold up.
Playing with my money is like playing with my emotions.
You feel me? Like, I know I could be an agent, man. You know what I'm saying? But go ahead, man. Bring us up to speed on your thoughts on Dalton Schultz, his getting the franchise tag and everything. Go ahead, talk to me.
Well, first and foremost, in my opinion, Dalton Schultz should have never been franchise tagged. It's a waste of money. Because it's not that he's not a good tight end. He's a very reliable option in the offense. But we could have had a deal in place that would have saved us money, could have saved us cap room. They've been talking about how tight the cap would be all damn year, and then they turned around and gave $10 million guaranteed in the form of a franchise tag to a fucking tight end.
There go that one. There goes his one. There goes that one. There goes that one. Hey, can I get that big number 1 in the comment box? Because there goes that one. The next one's going to cost you. Go ahead.
Yeah, so just from that standpoint, Dalton Schultz only had one year where he really put up numbers. It was last year. No other team was going to give him the type of money that the Cowboys could pay him in the open market. So from a negotiation standpoint, they should at least let the man go and test the market. Once he saw how down the market was for him, we could have came back with a reasonable offer, lowered that cap hit, and been back to business.
But they ain't want to do that.
They never do. Well, this is my problem with the Cowboys in front office in general. They play hardball with the wrong players.
And I'm going to tell you this right here. Like, I think something else the Cowboys have to start doing, man, is like this, bro. If you know you're going to sign someone, the moment you think that you're okay with signing someone, sign them. Yes. Because that moment right there is the cheapest you will ever get them. Like the moment you think that you're okay with signing Schultz, you sign him. Because at that moment right there, that's the cheapest you're ever going to get him. Then you allow a guy like Njoku to come up in here and get a guy, and I'm gonna tell you, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't see, like, it always scares me, man, when like people have noticeably better stats than someone, and then people still just like overlook it. They just be like, I don't want to hear it. Like, we're just not trying to hear that. And like, no matter how many times I post this about Dalton Schultz and that boy Njoku, man, Cowboy fans are just not trying to hear it. But, man, Dalton Schultz has been a way better productive tight end than David Njoku. And I'm going to be honest with you, man, the way that Cowboy fans feel about Njoku really is the way that Cleveland Browns fans should feel. They honestly, the way they should feel about Njoku. But I'm going to tell you, man, the fact that the Browns were able to restructure Amari Cooper, guess what that did? That frees up money allows them to be able to take chances and opportunities on players like a David Njoku. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me just speak on that for the fans that aren't sold on Dalton Schultz compared to Njoku. Last year, Dalton Schultz had more touchdowns and more yards than David Njoku had over the last 2 years combined.
That's crazy.
If you think I'm lying, y'all can fact check that.
And I mean, and this is the thing, man. You know, the power stat that I love about Dalton Schultz, honestly, is the touchdowns and the first downs. You know what I'm saying? 8 touchdowns. I mean, 808 yards. I mean, that's 200 yards away from being 1,000 yards. 2 touchdowns away from being double-digit touchdowns. And the first downs, man, imagine how many touchdowns those first downs led to. You know what I'm saying?
And think about this. He is not even, in the pecking order where he was maybe the third or fourth option. Because Cedric Wilson was eating last year.
Facts.
So he was probably like the fourth option in most of the games. He still put up career numbers.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, when I look at Dalton Schultz, man, like, you know, I don't know how important Dalton Schultz's future is for the Dallas Cowboys in, like, over the next 5 years, but I know his importance for this year is very important. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually happy to hear about Dalton Schultz coming into camp. Also, it lets me know that he is okay with playing on that $10 million franchise tag because, like, if they was getting close to getting to sign a deal, if you're close to signing a deal, why can't a deal get signed? That's my question. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're close to getting a deal signed, then why can't the deal get signed? You know what I'm saying? Like, I think Dalton Schultz wants to be a Dallas Cowboy. I also think that, you know, the Cowboys, you know, I think they gained a lot of leverage, you know, by him coming in because, man, if I'm Dalton Schultz, man, I ain't going to lie, I'll probably be sitting out because there's no way that a guy like Njoku's making $13, $14 million a year and your stats eclipse what he did and your stats were actually helping a winning team going down the road, man.
But this is the only problem that Schultz might have. If he did sit out and Joe Smo tight end comes in and duplicates that, then there's an issue.
Facts.
Because I'm not saying that
that's true.
Schultz is not a good tight end, but every tight end that Dak Prescott plays with puts up good numbers because he deliberately targets them.
Except for Jason Witten when he came back.
Yes, and he was about burnt out by then. But, 2016, Jason Witten had a great year.
He did. He was a Pro Bowler, if I'm not mistaken.
I think he made a Pro Bowl.
Him and Dez.
Fast forward, Blake Jarwin got paid off his production playing with Dak Prescott.
Joff Swain got paid by the Jaguars.
Mm-hmm. Even Swain got paid. Now, currently, Dalton Schultz is in a contract dispute, and he has a little bit of leverage because of his production by playing with Dak Prescott.
And he's been healthy.
So the common denominator here is the quarterback that we all know is not going to throw the ball for double coverage or anything like that. He's going to deliberately target tight ends and has no shame about it.
Well, if that's the case, this is the thing. If Dak Prescott instantly woke up and was like, I'm going to be a gunslinger, I'm going to throw in double coverage. Schultz wouldn't be as important.
Facts.
But Schultz is important because of your offensive coordinator and your quarterback. They made him important. Like, they made their utilization. Like, bro, first downs, bro, that's not even your – think about this, bro. Your running back was not first in first downs. That tells you how often you don't throw the ball. I mean, how often you don't run the ball. That right there lets you know that there's a problem in Dallas. When your quarterback, when a tight end is leading your team in first downs, that means you're doing what? On third down, you're mostly what? Throwing the ball.
That goes all the way back to the play calling. But we'll be on here another 3 hours. We had to break down Kellen Moore and the stuff he does. So,
well, we about to talk about Kellen Moore.
Oof.
Because with all this change, I'm gonna tell you this right here. Can Kellen Moore? I mean, not even can he, but what are your thoughts on Kellen Moore? And not even what are your thoughts. What do you want to see from Kellen Moore in this year?
I want to see Kellen Moore score points against good teams.
Elaborate on that, because you just made some enemies.
Man, look, it is one thing to run up a score and drop 50 on Washington. It is another thing to go on the road to Kansas City and muster 9 fucking points through the whole fourth quarter. If you are not a good offensive coordinator if you cannot score when you need to score.
Facts.
So I understand on paper it looks great, fantastic, leading offense in the NFL. But who did you put them points up against?
I mean, man, that has been my problem with Kellen Moore a long time, man, and that is, can you score points when you have to score points?
I think the frustrating part is we see flashes of him doing the stuff, because game 1 they came out and they intentionally targeted Amari Cooper and they put up plenty of points against Tampa Bay.
That was the most targeted. Tampa Bay also was the most targeted game ever. That's why also, man, and I hate to say this, bro, and I don't want to bring this up. That's why I say, man, like we almost have to be changing the way we do things, bro, because like if you're going to throw the ball, like Dak's most efficient game that you would say that you saw what Dak could do was that Tampa Bay game. And what did he do? He targeted one wide receiver 19 times.
Mm-hmm. And then CeeDee Lamb got most of the crumbs. Nobody else really got involved except for the 2 stars, and it worked out for the most part. Now they should have ran the ball more, especially when we had a chance to milk the clock and go up. But that's a subject for another day. But
yeah, man. So I mean, my one thing I tell you that I want to see from Kellen Moore, honestly, is like this, man. We have to adapt an identity, right? If we're going to, we have to an identity, and your identity cannot be dropping back and throwing the ball 40 times, because that is not the skill set of this team right now in your offense. You know what I'm saying? The strength is not in passing the ball. Your offensive line, I know you guys feel like it's gotten better, but I'm going to tell you guys there's more question marks on the offensive line this year than anything. I would be honest I'm not saying that the offensive line is better last year or going to be better this year, but I'm just saying this year has bigger question marks. Why? Because guess what? You have a whole new guy in there at guard. Question mark. You know what I'm saying? Tyron Smith just coming back. That's a question mark. You got my boy T. Steele, who I believe will play better than La'el Collins, but guess what? That's still a what? Question mark.
Thanks.
Your
and
center.
This is the thing that a lot of fans don't understand. Pass blocking and run blocking are 2 entirely different things. Like we get toe up pass blocking and still be efficient as a run blocker. And that showed just by the Cowboys win rate last year. They were the 23rd pass blocking team. They were the number 1 run blocking team. So that should tell you where the strength in your offensive line lies and what you should be doing as a play caller. Because when we were on that run, winning games, we were running the ball. Even if we were not running the ball effectively at times, we were putting enough run attempts against the defense. They had to respect the play action. People were running wide open down the field because we were running the ball.
Wow. Wow. I mean, and that's really the thing I would say about Kellen Moore, man, is exactly what you're saying, man. Being able to understand what your team is, who your team is, and what their strengths and weaknesses are. You know what I'm saying? I think, and also I think the fact that, and I'm going to tell you this right here, being a good running team is not a thing that's led by one person, because I remember when the Seattle Seahawks had the number one rushing team and they didn't have a running back that was even over 1,000 yards. And they came into Dallas 2018, but guess what? Having a good running team, that is a full team effort. That means, guess what? Dak is going to have to run the ball. You got to get them, man, them safeties, man. You got to have them. If these safeties are going to play in the box, then guess what? They have to get active. They just can't just be scraping back and forth. And I'm going to tell you, that's what happens when and then guess what? When that safety drops down, you do it enough. When that safety drops down, then guess what you do? You go play action pass and go over top. Why? Because there's not enough men on the field. There's not enough defensive men on the field. And then that's when you trust that your number one receiver, CeeDee Lamb, can do what? Make the catch, make the play. Also, bro, we're going to talk about Sedarian because, man, I'm going to tell you this right here. The Cowboys have said this. I don't like when the Cowboys make players things by default, starters or any of that. I don't like that stuff, bro. And I'm going to tell you this right here. I feel like the Cowboys made CeeDee Lamb the quintessential number one for no reason. And I'm going to tell you this right here. Is this the typical year where you would like to see a guy step up and be the number one? Yeah, why not? But my thing is this. Why force a guy to do something if he's, you know what I mean? The Cowboys were in such a situation and good a situation financially with CeeDee Lamb and with Amari Cooper, because this is my thing with Amari Cooper. I'm under the feeling that if Amari Cooper was willing to restructure his contract for the Cleveland Browns, a team he ain't never met before in his life, why wouldn't he do it for the Dallas Cowboys, a team that traded for him and gave him the contract? He would have did it. He would have restructured for us. He restructured the next day, bro.
I believe that this was predetermined the moment they actually drafted CeeDee Lamb. Because they dang near put a gun to this man's head and made him wear the 88. They went grooming this man to take over as number one receiver no matter what was going on.
So you think it was more of a timestamp already on him?
I believe so, because this is the way that Cowboys operate. They invested a number one pick in him. They bypassed Amari Cooper and anointed him the number 88 when Amari Cooper was still the lead dog. So just all the signs were pointing to.
That's good right there.
All the signs were pointing to, him taking over this role, whether we like it or not. And because it doesn't even make football sense to get rid of Amari Cooper when you actually just think about it. The man was still your best receiver. He caught the most touchdowns on your team while missing time. He was still the best route runner you have. And over the course of his career, he made an impact as your lead receiver. Mm-hmm. So it really made no sense making these adjustments where you did not have to, because we're sitting at over $20 million in cap space right now. And have no plans of signing anybody.
And have no plans of signing anybody. And that's my problem with the Dallas Cowboys, bro, is that they sell us on all this. We got to save money. We got to save money. We got to save money. All right, bro, we saved the money. What are we spending it on? Nothing. Facts. Now, you tell me this right now. I would rather have $4 million in cap space and Amari Cooper than have $24 million and no Amari Cooper.
I would rather be in cap hell and have Amari Cooper and Cedric Wilson than the lineup we're going to run out there this year, because our wide receiving core did not need adjustment. If anything, we needed to invest in a defensive tackle and a linebacker. But instead, we put another hole to be filled where there was not a hole to be filled to begin with. And now we got to hope and pray that CeeDee Lamb pans out as a number one receiver. Even though when the Steelers made a similar move with Antonio Brown and Juju Smith-Schuster, it blew up in their face.
It did not work out.
Man, it was a debacle.
And I'm gonna keep it real with you. That also, I think, that low-key shortened Big Ben's career, bro.
Thanks.
Because think about this: the end of Big Ben's career looked totally different. Totally different, bro. They let go 1,600 yards and like 12 touchdowns. Like, and Big Ben right now is looked at differently than he was 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Like, go look at Big Ben's stats after Antonio Brown.
Plummeted.
Like, there is something about having a number one. Go look at Juju Smith-Schuster. We thought, and guess what? He was making TikTok videos and doing stupid stuff back then too, so I don't want to hear it. We were thinking Juju Smith-Schuster was going to be this legitimate number one receiver in the NFL playing on the opposite side of Antonio Brown. And he is literally turned into a number 3 receiver on his technically third team because he could have, Pittsburgh. He was a free agent and he came back. You know what I'm saying?
Fact.
The releasing of Antonio Brown changed his entire career. Go ahead, B. I know you about to smack me. Go ahead, smack me with something.
Nah, you good. I'm finna just pull it up and see, because I don't think he even reached that receiving yardage number in the past 3 years combined. But I'm finna double check that.
Like, I don't like forcing number one-age on guys. I don't like it because I'm gonna tell you, bro. Most of the time, it don't work, bro. Like, and that's not even a wide receiver. Like, go look at all the quarterbacks that have been drafted and made to start number one to be the guy. Most of the guys don't work. Like, I know there's the Joe Burrows, there's all these blah, blah, blahs. But the numbers say it don't work. And my thing is this exact same thing my boy GA just said right now, man. The Cowboys, bro, you have $24 million. You don't have Amari Cooper. Tell me how you're a better team.
You're not. But I'll tell you what, he had that breakout year in 2018, 1,426 yards. He only has 1,512 yards over the next 3 years. So that should tell you something about how badly he has played since Antonio Brown left.
Jesus. And Juju, and I'm going to tell you this, CeeDee Lamb and I'm going to tell you what happens with a guy is because there are things that fans don't understand that happen when you are in the number one receiver, right? When you're the number one receiver, right? On a 3rd and 8, that's a pass play, right?
Mm-hmm.
Who do you think is going to get the attention? 88.
The number one receiver.
Number one receiver. So guess what they're first going to do? They're going to drop that number one corner on your butt. They're going to drop him right on you. Boom. So you already going to have the number one receiver, number one corner on you. Now, I love CeeDee Lamb, but let's just be real. CeeDee Lamb has been playing in the slot, so he has not been seeing the number one receiver, the number one corner. And I'm going to tell you guys this question, right? If Amari Cooper is on the field and CeeDee Lamb is on the field, what team do you think is dumb enough to put their number one receiver on CeeDee Lamb with Amari Cooper on the field at the same time?
No team is dumb enough.
No team.
Matter of fact,
no team's going to do that.
The guy that's supposed to be the defensive guru of our generation, Bill Belichick, put his best corner on Amari Cooper.
The entire game.
That should tell you enough.
Both games, actually, because he had Stephon Gilmore in the first game, and then in the second game, he put the other boy on him. The other corner they had.
What's that boy name? This would have bothered me because he's cold.
My boy says, I like trade up option, but here we are key. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about. He said they got scared of Amari getting hurt. It was an insurance move. I would have kept him. I don't even really think it was an insurance move because Amari Cooper didn't get hurt. Amari Cooper had COVID for 2 weeks. Like, Amari Cooper had plantar fasciitis and still played. It was J.C. Jackson. I knew it was J.C. Jackson, bro. He's not with them no more, though, right?
Nah, he is Charger.
Oh, my God.
The A defense going to be crazy.
Stupid next year.
But, what just happened with them and J.C. Jackson is what I'm hoping doesn't happen between us and Trayvon Diggs. Price himself out of Dallas playing so good.
I mean, we're going to say that for another day. But, I mean, I'm going to tell you this right here, man. Next Tuesday, if my cousin, we can do it, we're going to be right back on here next Tuesday, man. And we're going to be talking some more content, man. We've been on here for, an hour and 20 minutes, man. I appreciate you. Hey, man. Hey, thank you for coming on here tonight, man. Before we get up out of here, though, man, let me know any last subjects you want to touch on before we want to get up out of here.
Man, linebacker, really. You want to touch on linebacker real quick?
Go ahead. Let me hear something.
All right, let me get it pulled up because we need a linebacker, and I have a couple suggestions.
Now, when you say linebacker, I'm going to tell you this right here. People instantly start talking about What do you mean we need a linebacker? We have Micah Parsons.
Yes, and Michael Parsons is a pass rusher. That man's going to come get the quarterback. I need somebody that's going to man the middle of my defense and just plays, yada, yada. I need somebody in the trenches to stop the run if they get past the first line of defense. So we don't really need Michael Parsons for that. We need Michael Parsons to go and try and get 20 sacks this year.
Yeah, and I'm gonna tell you this right here. He's for sure a guy that's gonna price himself out of Dallas. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Like the Cowboys are only gonna sign him if, like, I'm gonna tell you this. Michael Parsons better start signing. He better start selling some jerseys because, bruh, the amount of money that he is gonna command is gonna be ridiculous. And the Cowboys are going to need more leverage than just him because, bro, he is about to run it up. And if he really go get them 20 sacks like he said he is, bro, that young man will then have 36 sacks in his first 2 years. What's the Bosa? Bro, Bosa had 39 in his first 3 years. You know what I'm saying? What's up with you, Sadiq Charles? Bosa had 39 in his first 3.
So I'm going to go through my top 3 that I think the Cowboys should sign. We're going to start off with Anthony Barr.
Okay.
All right. He's still that guy. I know he's a little bit older now. He just turned 30. But hear me out. He still had 72 tackles. He still had 2.5 sacks. And he still had 3 interceptions.
Damn.
Playing the linebacker position. Now, the only knock on him, he's been getting banged up a little bit here and there. You know, it comes with age, but he's still that guy. He's still going to handle his business and run support. And on top of that, you don't even have to take him off the field and pass him down. So he's that good in coverage.
And he's better than what we have right now. Appreciate you, Donald Holmes, for the 200 stars.
Better than every linebacker we have. And I'm saying that as as an actual linebacker, because playing linebacker, he's better than Michael Parsons playing linebacker. I just want them to understand that. Next, we got the guy with the pedigree, Dante Hightower.
Former Patriot.
3-time Super Bowl champion.
Damn.
The moment he comes into the locker room, he's going to demand that respect as a guy that's been there and done that. And he's not the coverage guy that Anthony Barr is by any means. He might have to sub out.
Bruh, miss me with all these fans talking about linebackers who can cover. And slap yourself. Linebacker, that's a safety. If you're a linebacker who can cover, you're a safety.
Facts. But look, the man was coming off of a year. He missed a whole year, came back, still had 64 tackles and 1.5 sacks. And that's speaking for something. And he doesn't really miss time. He opted out. He didn't actually get hurt. He opted out because of COVID. So this man is a shoe-in to play at least 15, 16 games. If he missed a game, it's because they risked up for the playoffs. That's how he gets down.
Facts. I like it. Next.
All right. And then the last guy, we're going to bring back the prodigal son. We're going to bring back in Anthony Hitchens. Still sitting on the market. Still relatively young. Coming off a year where he had 80 tackles.
Jesus.
80 tackles and an interception. And matter of fact, for the fans that are worried about coverage, he's decent enough to leave in some passing situations. So those are my top 3 because they all can play the run. They're all veterans, and they all had experience in a 4-3 defense. I have 2 honorable mentions, but them boys are coverage linebackers. I don't want anybody that can't tackle on my team. We got enough of those guys.
Who are those 2?
Quan Alexander and Anthony Walker. 27 years old, hyper athletic. They're gonna get to the point of the ball. The big question is, are they gonna wrap up and make the tackle?
Facts. Out of those guys, who do you think Dan Quinn would like?
Dan Quinn would love Anthony Barr. Just off top. I believe like scheme fit Anthony Barr and Anthony Hitchens are probably the best scheme fit for Dallas. Just because of what they can do. They can play all 3 downs if he doesn't want to go hybrid. But Dan Quinn has a habit of he likes to play safeties at linebacker. He was doing that in it wasn't Seattle.
Curse.
It was in Atlanta.
He did it with J-Ron Curse this year.
J-Ron Curse, and then he did it in Atlanta as well. So they're really just going to depend on. We're really going to depend on what the linebacker and the safety bunch is looking like. If the safety group is better than the linebacking core, then I expect to see J-Ron Curse playing that hybrid linebacker way more.
Yeah, and y'all going to put some respect on his name. I think we're going to have a healthy conversation about J-Ron Curse next Tuesday. What you think, bro?
J-Ron Curse should have been a Pro Bowler this year.
I know. Like I said, next Tuesday, man, we're going to be right back here, man, with another episode of Late Night. Well, what we're going to call this, Can't Sleep Cowboys. That's what we're going to call it, Can't Sleep Cowboys. Hey, man, it's your boy, West Coast. It's my boy, GA, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with us tonight, man. And y'all already know what it is. I'll see y'all in the morning. Never look down because the stars up.